Greg here with Fearless Eating, and today I'm going to show you how to render lard. Lard is a wonderful fat, contrary to popular belief, that we can start using again in our kitchen. And the reason it's such a great fat to start using is because it is stable at high heat, and that's what we're looking for when we want to use any fat or oil when we're cooking, especially again at high heat. So it makes a great fat for baking, sauteing, and especially frying, because those chemical bonds in that fat aren't going to break down. And that is exactly what happens when we use poor quality oils, poor quality vegetable oils like soybean oil, canola oil, cottonseed, corn, when we use poor quality products like margarine or Crisco. So lard is a great traditional fat, and this is why people used it for thousands of years. I know it's a little awkward for people to to reacquaint themselves to lard. They haven't used it maybe ever, and so it's not something that you can go up to the supermarket and get. You really have to render it at home. So you have to find a good source of lard, and the best source is probably your local farmer. And I'm very lucky where I live here in Western Massachusetts. We have a lot of great farms, and it's very easy for me to, I don't know if you can see that very well, but it doesn't matter. But it's about a 1.5 2-pound piece of leaf lard, which is the fat around the kidney of the pig, and that's the ideal lard you want to use. But it's also very economical. This only cost me about $5, and I'm going to guess it's going to get me maybe 12 to 14 ounces of lard, and that'll last me probably somewhere between 2 to 4 months. And so it's economical, it's healthful, and today I'm going to show you how to make it. Okay, so here's the piece of lard kind of taken out from the package, and again, this is leaf lard. You can also get back lard, but the leaf lard is probably a little bit better. Just it's not quite as porky a flavor. But if you can only get back lard, that's fine too. But this is leaf lard, and basically all we're going to do now is just start cutting this into little kind of strips and little pieces. So I'll just take my knife here, and I'm just going to start. And there is a little resistance in it, so you got to work your knife in there a bit. And we'll just keep doing this, and I'll probably come here and cut this a little bit down. So it'll take me a few minutes to kind of cut through this piece of leaf lard and get it ready, and then we'll check on over on the stove in just a minute here. Okay, so I've got the lard all cut into small strips. I put about 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda on top, and that'll make it turn a nice white color. I'm going to put this on the stove. We're going to put it on low, and I'm going to just kind of watch it over the course of the next few hours as it starts to liquefy. And we'll check back in about 20-30 minutes, as you'll see, as the fat starts to break down. Alright, so I'm about a half hour in here, and as you can see, it's really starting to break down and liquefy there. Alright, and I'll just keep stirring it, every 20-30 minutes, just to make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. But you can see we're getting there, so check back in soon. Alright, so it's about a half hour later, and you can see it's really liquefying now. We're really getting there. And again, this is on the very lowest setting on my stove here, so it really it doesn't need a whole lot of heat, and this is going to be ready fairly soon. I would say probably within the next hour or so, we'll just keep checking back. Alright, about another half hour, 40 minutes later, and we're just about ready, I think. I'll maybe let this go a little bit longer. Basically what you're looking for when you know it's done is when the kind of the fat starts to rise to the surface. Those are the cracklings, and they start to brown, and they're pretty much there. So I think I'll maybe let this go a little bit longer, and then we'll start straining it out. Okay, so we're ready to strain out the lard from the cracklings there. And what I've done here, let me scoot it over, is we're going to take a cheesecloth lined colander, and I've set it over this bowl, which is going to collect the lard. And I'm just going to strain it right in. Pretty simple. So I'm just going to... And I've let this cool a little bit so that it doesn't, splatter and, burn me if anything, Like it's splattering a little bit right there. So I did let it cool for about, 10 minutes before I did this. Okay. And check back here in just a minute. Okay, so there's the strained out lard. So we got about 12 ounces in here. And we had a little bit left over, so I put it on the jar on the left. So I got about 14, 15 ounces total, which is about what I thought. And I'm going to put this in the fridge, and it's going to turn a nice kind of beautiful white color. And then we'll check on it in a little bit. So there it is, the final product. There's my lard. It's been in the fridge for a few hours, so you can see it turned a nice white, creamy color there. And I took a little teaspoon out there so you could see what it looks like outside the jar. So it's a nice kind of, nice white, creamy fat. And that's it from start to finish. Probably, by the time it kind of cools and you put it in the fridge for an hour or two, probably about 3 to 4 hours. So there it is, how to render lard.